Everybody, it's Debbie, and you're listening to Spooky Things. Um, we have a very interesting guest tonight, and going kind of a little bit different than what we've been doing, but this is great too. This is something that's very near and dear to my heart because I've got quite a bit of experience with it. But I would like everybody to meet Jatin Patel. It's so nice that you could come.
Yes, ma'am. Well, more than welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Now, you're the owner and founder of Wire Glass Wildlife Removal.
Yep. Yes, ma'am. I am here in Dothan, Alabama, but I'm based in several counties around here, about 50, 60 miles away, the surrounding area, the
Right.
wiregrass area.
Okay, so you cover a pretty big area then.
Yes, ma'am. I do.
Okay. Um, I mean that's really interesting. Um, for the people that don't know me, I've got a fairly extensive background with working with animals myself. So there's a lot of things that Jatin does that I'm like, oh yeah, I love that stuff.
Yeah.
I used to do that. But
Yeah.
I think that you're a lot more involved in doing things that I did not do. And
Oh,
so,
yeah.
but I'm fascinated. I'm just totally fascinated. So why don't you tell me? I want to know, I mean, because you're quite educated in a number of areas.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
tell me and everybody about yourself. I want to hear. Give it to
Oh,
us.
I don't even know where to start. Well, my name's Jatin Patel, and I was born in London, England. Um, and my parents are migrants from India. So both my parents are from India, like the country, and they're originating from. They moved to. Long story short, they moved to England for a better life. Because we're farmers over there, where everybody just kind of lived. Back, especially back then. My dad was born in the 30s, and my mom was born in the 50s, I think. And then yeah, they're all farmers and stuff. So just for a better life, for better education, for better, for us. We moved to England, and then I lived there 5 years. So I had my full British accent. You can hear my British twang right now, right, with my maters and taters. I just
Oh
had
yeah,
some maters
totally
and taters.
British. Oh yeah.
That's right, British. I know what you thought. They're like, gosh, that's the most interesting mate. You want to have a spot of tea? Remember? I was born there. Then we moved to New York for the hotel life. Of course, we pursued the Patel. I'm a Patel, so we own hotels and commercial businesses, gas stations, stuff like that here. But I've always been interested in animals and things like that nature ever since I was a kid. We watched Mutual Omaha. When I was the TV remote, some of you understand that joke, where I was actually, turned the knob, to the three channels, and then we used to watch PBS and Mutual Omaha. And I started
Oh
catching
yeah.
insects out just right there at the hotel we lived there, and then in the grassy area, I just started looking at stuff, and then just went from there. And then I went to school. Went to school locally here in Dothan, Alabama. Went to graduate from Dothan High School, the real Dothan High School. And then, then I went to college. I went to UAB in Birmingham, Alabama, and then also got a degree from Troy University. And I was a school teacher. I taught middle school, high school, and college. I was a college professor at Wiles College, and also taught at Troy University. I'm currently an adjunct there in the science department. But then I've always been interested in critters. So then I don't know, I can't remember, 'cause several years ago, I opened up Wiregrass Wildlife Removal to help. I used to do this stuff, just to do it, remove squirrels out of attics and stuff like that. So I got licensed federally and by the state to do this legally, bat removal, skunks, possums, squirrels. And then I'm a falconer. I'm a master class falconer. I started in 2000. I was licensed in 2004, but I followed my sponsor. For the first 2 years, I followed him around and learned from him, and then went from there. I've had all kind of birds, and right now I don't have any current birds. Right now, I'm working on getting some, um, so I can practice falconry. We actually pursue prey and things of that nature. So, and then
Right.
I've done so much stuff. I've done research work. I've done all kind of things. I help with labs, and I've discovered some stuff, and I just live life. I just keep it simple.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. I mean, I've always found it so much easier to work with critters than to work
It,
with
it
people.
they don't talk back. They bite back, but they don't talk back.
But you know what? You know where they're coming from.
Right?
you
You
know,
got to understand her.
they're
You
not
get.
going
I
to
can.
look at you and, yeah, be all nice to you. And then, yeah,
Yeah.
no, no, they don't like
Wow.
you. They let you know right off the rip.
I don't know.
But it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I got you.
Kind of like a crazy girlfriend. 1 second they're nice, and then they get hungry or whatever, and they go bam. And they come after you. She's on this podcast, so you know what you're talking about. Yeah, you.
Exactly.
And
You
I got
just
my
made
little
my
critters right here. Look, I got my show right here. See them?
aw,
There he is. There's a cougar and a cat.
aw.
That's a. I think that's a paranormal cat. Right? Speaking of ghosts and stuff, that thing is. He's something else. He's a different species right there. Yeah.
My cat's a three-leg cat.
Oh, cool.
She'd
Yeah, that's
mean her to,
cool.
oh yeah, she'd mean her to two-headed cobra. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
She just,
Well, I'm Indian, so we got 7-headed cobras. Oh God, let her try. Come over, bring her over here. I'll put her to her place. We got little cobras, 7 heads,
oh, that's funny.
and our gods have like
No,
seven,
I
eight
can't handle the
eight
two-headed
arms.
one.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you are going to be coming, if I'm not mistaken, to our Paracomic-Con,
Yes, ma'am. In August. What was it August? I can't remember the dates. 12th or what is it? I don't want to
August
say
the
wrong.
9th and 10th.
9th and 10th. That's right. In Ozark,
Yes,
Alabama, Civic Center.
Ozark,
Yes, ma'am. I'll be able to
Alabama,
come. Yep.
August the 9th and the 10th.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're really excited to be having you having you there. It's going to
Yes,
be
ma'am.
fun. We're going to have a lot
It'll
of
be
fun.
Yeah, you'll like my little display I'll do. I'll keep it kind of secret right now, so it'll be interesting. I've always had like multiple comments, but I think I got some more extra stuff that I'll be bringing, and so it'll be diverse. It'll be
Oh,
extremely diverse. Bring your cameras, charge your phones, charge your cameras, charge your wife, charge your kids, and bring them.
charge everything.
Charge everything. Yeah, come support them.
Charge
Yeah, come
everything.
support us over there.
Well, it's
Yeah.
going to be, and you're not only going to be
Hmm.
coming to the Paracomic Con, you're also going to be coming to our Medieval Faith Fest.
Yes, ma'am. And that's remind them
And
when is it?
that is November the 8th and the 9th.
Yeah,
And that's
Marianna,
going to be
Florida,
in
right?
Marianna, Florida at the
Yep.
Ag Center in
At the
Marianna.
Ag Center. That's right. Yep. Hopefully they by
Mm-hmm.
then, and I should by then have a bird or a hawk, so you can be able to, take plenty of pictures and ask me any questions you want, and you get to see a live hawk right there. Hopefully I'll have one. I say hopefully because it's kind of with this weather change and everything, with this climate change and everything. I haven't seen the first bird in a couple of years. The migratory routes have changed. All just not just the birds, every animal out there. You hardly ever see snakes out there anymore. And I used to catch them all the time and see them all the time, but you just don't see those kind of things anymore. If you notice a roadkill, I'm probably one of the only people that actually drive, and I'm always looking for roadkill. Kind of tells me about the animals, and if you notice, like unless you're way out in the country or something, you don't ever see them
It's
anymore.
true.
Yeah, plus you go to Georgia. I love going to Georgia. Some people are like, yeah, I'm just gonna go shopping and quote waste time and all this stuff. You know how I waste my time? I go to Georgia and look for roadkill. And if it's actually pretty good, if it's fresh, I'll keep it, skin it, and stick it around my neck. Whatever. Make me a little hat. Make some cuffs. See? That's how it's
Oh,
made.
that's cool.
Well, this one right here, it's actually, I'm covering the camera. Hang on. It's actually a raven wing. If I undo it, it's hard to do
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah.
You know, if you want to see this cover right here, you have to come to both events. How about that? And I'll show it to you.
There you go.
I do
There you
leather
go.
work too. You know, I haven't done it in years, but I make my own stuff. I don't like wasting a life. I'm kind of like the avatar people. I do eat meat, you know, because my parents, my dad eats the meat. My mom don't eat. She's strict Hindu, strict vegetarian. She don't eat meat.
Is she?
So get into all this falconry stuff and actually doing it. It took me forever, a long time to do it. So, yep.
I bet. You know,
Mhm.
I've always wanted to have a raven. I've just
I'm I'm getting one. I'm working hard
they're
to get one
amazing.
right. Yeah, they're extremely
They're hard.
smart, and I've already got the works
They
on one. I
are.
think we found it. I want a wild caught one. I don't. There's breeders out there, but I rather have one that's from the wild. The parents are from the wild, and then it's
Yeah,
different. It's like falconry, like my birds. I have ones that I've bought, and then ones that are straight from the wild. And it's just a different experience with them. I'm telling you, it's like actually being
it
one with
is.
nature. They're not
See,
my
I
pet.
want one that I can train. I want
Yeah,
one that I can train,
yeah,
but he still has access to being wild.
right.
You know,
Yep,
I
that's
don't
right.
want to keep one in my
Yep,
house, so
yep,
to speak. I mean, he can come in if he wants, but
right.
what I would really like to have is a bird that I can train, and but I still want him to have access to being wild as
That's right.
well.
Yep, just like my
And
birds. Yep,
I just love it when they're like that. They're just
yep,
so cool because
just
they're
like
there
my.
because they want to.
Yeah,
And
exactly. My
there's
birds, yeah, they're free to go in whenever they want. I've lost birds. You're not a true falconer unless you've lost a bird because you're actually out there hunting
yeah,
with them. They're my tool. I don't hunt. I don't own any guns or anything like that. I don't have nothing. Those are my tools. Those are my hunting tools. It's the only type of hunting I do. You know.
I agree with you. Teresa
Yeah.
said Stan wants I want a black kitty, but Stan said no. Oh, Stan,
Come on, Stan. You gotta do
why
it for me.
not?
Hey, you gotta get Teresa. I'm gonna make him do it. If he'd better bring one to that the Comic Con on in August. So you're gonna get your black
A
kitty. I
bl-
want it there because I want it part of my booth. So Stan, get on the butt. Go get one, Teresa, and bring it to the thing. Is that? I think
There you
everybody
go.
wants that. Yeah.
Stan, pressure's on, man.
There you go.
You gotta have a black cat there.
You
Well,
gotta have it.
a
Yeah.
kitty. Get a little
Yeah.
small little kitty.
Yeah. I forgot to mention I was in. I'm not. I
We'll
just
get
want
you
to
one,
let y'all
Teresa.
know more about me. I was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2023 as the Alabama Sports and Adventures Hall of Fame, where they pick normal quote people that are out in society that are doing very unique and no normal things. Like kind of like me. If you look at me,
Yeah,
you look like I look like I serve Slurpees at the gas station and make your beds at the hotel, which I do. I've done it all the time. Depends on what flavor you want. This week's special is kiwi chitty. I gotta do my little head wobble there. You know that. But in the meantime, I do all the critter stuff, so I was inducted into that. So I forgot to tell you about that. You can look at and I was signed with 495 Productions. I've been on A&E. A&E filmed me. My videos are on YouTube. You can check them out. Links. I'm sure you'll post them, and I'll post them on mine. You can just look up my name, Jatin Patel, Dothan, Alabama, on YouTube, and you'll see all the links and all the crazy stuff I've done. They want to start filming again. I've been in a couple movies. They want me to do a full length movie. My producer right now that's in California wants me to come out there and fly out there, and I'll be in a full featured movie like the ones that are in movie theaters. And I don't know. I'm thinking about it, so I might be headed out there when it cools down. It's too hot right now. It's too
it's
hot.
too hot.
Too hot.
It's too hot right now. Would you be filming here or out in California?
Depends on what the movie is. You know how they do different locations, and with me, probably it's gonna be somewhere woodsy, and I mean, I've done.
Yeah.
There's one online. Forgot what it's called with Jimmy Dallas, fishing with Jimmy Dallas or something like that. It's on YouTube. The link I'll put it on my Facebook again. And that was done to
Okay.
let you follow locally, but I've done haunted movies before. I was in this.
Oh,
I know you're gonna ask me the name, and I forgot. I was a little extra in there, like I had a small piece in there, and a couple other movies, but. I knew you do
Have
paranormal
you
like
had
Joe
any?
Wallace. Mhm.
Huh?
Go ahead. Sorry, you were saying something. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, have you had any paranormal experiences?
I was talking to Teresa the other day, and then, I'm one of those that show it to me. Prove it to me,
Yeah.
and then otherwise I will not believe you. I don't care the stories. I don't care. So I went to India one time. This is a true story, and this is coming out of my mouth, and just about everybody that knows me, which is quite a ton of people, they know who I am. I don't believe in anything unless you show it to me. Where I went there, and then back in our village. So we used to live in a very remote villages where there's no electricity and all that back in the 90s. But when I went in 2011, we had electricity at my house, but then there's still a lot of villages around because like it used to be all farmland over there with sugar cane, mango trees, and just all farmland, tropical farmland. You never leave your house. Just like people here in these days, they had generation and generation and generation live on that same homestead and live on the same land. Well, there's a little hut
Right.
that's behind in just not too far from my house, in the middle of nowhere. It's like no electricity, no running water, nothing. They lived there, and so the guy was the head. What do you call it? Not the voodoo priest, but the head priest, the guru, the high priest of that area. But he's like a witch
Hmm.
doctor.
Hmm.
That's what the people call it. They coin it here. But he was doing an exorcism on this lady because they thought she was possessed. Well, outside of tropical weather, believe it or not, even though it was like I think it was January when he did this in India, it's still tropical. So it's about in the 80s over there, but it's that dry heat, so it'll get to you because the heat index was probably like 100. That day, but it was hot. And I went inside that hut, and it was like all the mud. They used we have water buffaloes for milk, and they have the white. They have two kind of type of cattle that we have over there. The white bullocks with the hump on their back, that's used for
Uh-huh.
farming, and then you had the water buffaloes used for milk. Well, they had the water buffalo hut, and that's where we did it, and laid her down, and they roped her down. They don't have chains over there, so they roped her down. They tied her down to the ground, areas on a mat. Laid her down. It's a real tiny hut. There's probably like 10 or 11 of us in there, but it's extremely. We're like shoulder to shoulder, bumping each other. Anyway, long story short, when I saw that lady's head twist the way it did and it shouldn't have, and blood started coming out of her eyes, and I heard a different language. One of the oldest language in the world is Sanskrit or Sanskrit, and there's only a handful of people that could read it. And my mom could do that. I'll do that for you one day if you want to come to Dothan. We could do a live on that and have my mom read something in Sanskrit, and you can ask her about the stuff that she's seen. But when I saw that twist and her body kind of raised, smoke, quote, the mist was coming out of my mouth. The temperature got cold while he was doing that session. His eyes rolled back in the back of his eyes. In the back of his head is nothing but white you see in there. And it's just like all misty, and it's like kind of like moisture misty. Not smoke, but it's like the moisture. You could feel it damp. And it was dry as hell when I walked in there. So that's a crazy one of the craziest experiences I've ever seen in my life. That's in
Wow.
India. Yeah.
Well, did it help her?
I guess, yeah. I mean, she was still quote possessed or whatever, but I don't know what happened to her because I left about a week after that. But I'm sure they do that stuff. Not quite often, but when they do get possessed like that, I've seen it several times in my life where, you know, if you notice, a lot of Indians, our kind of Indian, dot not feather, the dot. And that's how the gods and the priests and all the souls and the spirits enter into your soul, is that dot. And that's just a location right here. So it's not a sticker. It's not. Some people tattoo it, but usually it was made out of kunku, which I don't. It's like out of a plant, and they smash up the plant and make a little liquid, and they take it with this finger right here, not the bird finger, but the index, whatever that finger. I forgot what it is. Anyway, you take it and just
Hmm.
like put a little dot right there, and and so that's what happens there. So I don't know. Just the things I saw. It's something you can't make up. People that know me know I don't make that kind of crap up.
No, no. And
Yeah.
a lot of people don't see things like that.
No, not around here.
A lot
It's
of
so modernized here, but if you go over there,
It
some of
is.
the rural areas, you'll see stuff that you just people still living off the land. They get their water every day. You see, probably seen the pictures of the ladies with the vases on their heads when they're walking.
Yes.
Okay, that's for water. My mom used to do that with her kids. So every morning they used to go fetch water. So my granddad used to tell him go fetch the water while he went to the fields and herded the cows and actually plowed the fields the old way. With my dad did that. My dad did that with the bullocks, carts, and stuff like that. He did all that. Yep.
It's a hard life.
Yeah, he saved his entire life for a plane ticket, and he was 200 pounds back then. That's a lot of money. But he saved his entire life for a plane ticket to go to England, and that's all he had. And then my uncle, my dad's uncle, which was already in Fiji Islands, he left a long time ago. When the gates opened up, when India gained its freedom from Britain, I can't remember when that was. I'm not a history. I was a history, but I can't remember. 40s, 50s. I don't know. 30s. Yeah, 40s and 50s. I think when Gandhi, there's a movie written about it and all that. When he gained freedom, there are two gates that opened up. One to Africa, or one to England. And my dad chose the England, the British path, and went over there.
And they've been over there ever since. Well, they're
Yeah,
here now.
well, they're here. Yeah, my dad passed away in 2016, but I live with my mom, so because I take care of her, because I got a big enough house. Trust me, I can fit a lot of people here. So there's just me and her. I got the upstairs. You can't really walk upstairs, so I can do the Rapunzel effect. Go upstairs, no one's. I can be by myself. I got my highs, my leather work, everything's upstairs that I need. Leave it
Yeah.
alone. It's upstairs. I got my snake up there. I should be. If she behaves, uh, she's been kind of ornery. 'Cause she's just getting too greedy and hungry. But she's a red-tailed bower. She's about, I don't know, 5.5 feet probably. I might be able to bring her to that Comic-Con. I'll bring her. She's okay. Yeah.
I used to work with Bill Host at the Miami Serpentarium.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And
Okay. Yes, I know. I've heard of
hmm
him. I never met him. Yeah.
yeah, oh,
Yeah.
really, well, he's passed now,
Yeah.
but
That's
he was definitely one of a kind. He really
yeah.
was. And I feel very blessed to be able to
Yeah.
say that I was actually able to work with him right in his surroundings at the Seaquarium. He had a really nice lab there,
Yeah.
and he used to do the venom extractions from
Right.
there.
I
And
did that a long time ago, but that was just to donate and give it away. I should have. But that's back in my teenage years. In college, I used to just do it, just to extract the venom and just give it away to help people. But now that my hands are, the older you get, I don't mess with it too much now. But I can, but I don't. Yep.
you can, but you don't.
Yeah.
What does your mother? Well, what does your mother think about having all those snakes?
We can actually ask her. You want to ask her?
Oh, is she there?
Yeah, she's right here. Let's see. Let's go and just let's see if she's sitting on the throne. Let's see. I don't see her. Well, she might be
Oh,
eating. Dang. If she is, one second. It's dark in here.
don't bother her.
We'll do it. Hey, we'll just be cool. It'll bother
No,
her.
I don't know.
Can you come here 1 second? She's coming. She's coming.
Oh,
Hey, look at this
oh,
swing. I'll show you this swing from India's hand carved. Look. She's always on the phone with somebody.
oh, that's beautiful.
Man, see that peacock?
Oh, that's absolutely beautiful.
Right here in the
Oh my
living room.
God.
Come here. Who? Tim, hang on. Call you back. I'll call you right back. Hang on. What you ask? Sit right here. You're on live TV, so watch your mouth. Tell her watch your mouth. Sit down here. Now here's my mom. You can ask her whatever questions you like.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Nothing
How are
like being
you?
put on the spot.
Oh, dear. My hand. Yeah.
So, what do you think of this stuff with Jatin and all of his snakes and stuff?
Sorry?
What do you think about with all Jatin with all of his snakes and stuff?
I'm an
Yeah,
animal.
that's his hobby. So, he love animal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what
You
he's
doesn't
doing.
bother you that it doesn't
No,
bother you
no.
having the snake in the house?
Ooh, no, I don't go in his room, but. So I'm safe downstairs. I don't go upstairs.
Just don't go upstairs.
No, just stay downstairs.
Oh, that's funny.
It's
That's
scary,
funny.
but that's his hobby. So yeah,
Well, that's good. That's
yeah,
good.
I let him enjoy his
You
life.
see any ghosts or anything in India?
Yeah,
Huh? Tell her about that.
no, I
Well,
haven't seen.
You might see them, did you? Oh,
No, yeah.
yeah.
He said you seen ghost in India, and I said no, I'm scared. I don't go outside night time.
I'd be more afraid of the snakes than the ghosts.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Everybody hate
yeah.
the cobra. Hey, ask her about the cobra that she almost died. How old are you?
I was
Listen,
about
listen to this.
10.
Listen to this story. Listen to her. Let's start. I'll tell her
Tell me.
tell her from the beginning.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was in a school and we have to take some flower at the school. And I went to get some flower and I see the big snake, and I by mistake I touch, and when I see something smooth I run for my life. And since that I scared
What kind
of
of snake was
snake.
it? What kind was it? Cobra, right?
I don't know
Think what
what
a big
kind,
one.
but
Tell about
I touched 2 times snake in my life, live by mistake. And we used to cook in a fire, and I went to take some wood out from my backyard, and I with a wood I touched the snake,
I think
but
Cobra was
he eat the
man.
mouse or something, so he can move. So I run for my life 2 times in my life with a snake. Yeah. So
I
since
would
that,
too.
yeah, so by mistake I touched 2 times snake. Yeah. So I'm scared when I scared. I don't go upstairs. I stay downstairs. And it's safe. Yeah.
Well, I've had a few snakes,
Oh,
and yeah, I've had a few of them. And the one snake that I had was big. He was very. It was a python, so he was like really big, and he got loose. I'm not the one that let him loose. Somebody didn't close the cage right, and he got out and he went to the neighbor's house,
oh my God.
and the neighbor didn't appreciate it. No, neighbor didn't, especially since his dog ended up inside the snake.
Oh, shoot.
Oh,
Oh, I I felt so bad, but I mean, what could I do? It was
yeah.
like, sorry about your dog,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, and
God.
and the snake was so big that he would hiss really loud. And this
Uh-huh.
one guy came to the house one time, and I was like, "What's he doing sitting outside?" And he kept looking at his car, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "One of my tires are leaking," and I'm like, "Are you talking about that hissing?" And he said, "Yeah, can you hear it?" I'm like, "Well, that's not your car tire." And he was like, "Well, what is it?" I said, "You're making my snake mad. He's in the cage behind you."
Oh.
This is a snake that was about 15 foot long.
Oh
Oh
my
man.
God.
He turned around, looked at that snake. He got back in his car and he never came back.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone's scared of snake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a big snake.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I
it's
thought, gee, I
dangerous.
could make this work for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I hand over to Jatin, and nice talking with you, ma'am.
It was nice talking to you. I'm so glad you could join us.
Yes, thank you. I give it to
All
Jatin.
righty.
Yes,
Bye
bye.
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 Back.
I like your
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah. She cool, man.
She's
Just
cool.
hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can sleep outside again. So my little family. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, so do you have a reticulated python? Chocolate.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, I worked
Yeah.
with them
There.
a couple of times. Yep.
He wasn't very good natured, but
No. Yeah.
yeah,
Some of them are. Some of them are. Some of them are
some
not.
of them
Depending.
are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
They
like a
were.
ball python. They're all pretty cool, but not the
Yeah. They're cool.
reticulators. They can be kind of mean.
I had one that was
Just
mean. It was, I
lumpy.
couldn't believe it. Someone, people give me stuff all the time. It's like, so I had a ball python. It was the meanest one I've ever seen. But I think I know why, because that cage was never cleaned out. It was never taken care of right. Just had all kind of problems. And one day, I guess it killed itself because he ate just fine. Next day, bam, he's dead. Because he kept hitting the glass and all that. She wanted to get out. I'll get him out, I'll take him outside, and he was just like, you know, I don't know. He was about, I don't know, maybe 2 years old, 2 or 3 years old, something like that when I got him.
I don't even know how old mine was. I
Yeah.
ended up giving him to the Metro Zoo
Oh,
because
okay.
they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, we'll take him." Yeah,
Yeah, pretty
because the
much.
Serpentarium wasn't around anymore. Some stuff that happened there, and he decided to close it down in Miami.
Yeah,
And so they,
that's awesome.
when I gave an offer to take this snake, it was a big snake, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll take him." I'm like, "Just he's just too big."
He's too big. Yeah,
Hate the
people don't
neighbor's
realize how big
dogs.
they.
They hate him.
Yeah, they don't. People don't realize how strong they are.
Oh,
They,
they're
you know,
amazingly
they're
strong.
extremely strong. Just like the ones that are out there in the wild. Like, I've been invited to come catch them, but it's no, there's no game to it for me because like, just let them, strike at you a couple of times or whatever. If that's what you call it, grab 'em by the head, and they just kind of give up and they go into a state of torpor. It's kind of just like a
Hmm.
daze and confused type. And
Yeah,
you can pick them up all you want. You'll see the Instagram videos. These people just picking them up. Like, I just caught this big old snake, but that thing's alive. That thing is not dead, in those people's hands. They don't dispatch it until later, because there's so many of them out
yeah.
there because of that hurricane. People don't realize. So you're going to be there
Oh,
in the event on August.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I heard about you going to
Um,
be there too, so that'd be awesome. Yep,
yeah, yeah. I'm going to be well in both of them.
yeah.
So,
And so is Teresa's cats. That new black cat. I can't wait to see it. I can already hear my phone dinging right now from Stan. It's like, shut up, dude. Here we go.
here we go.
There you go. That's right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's going to be great, though. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's
we're
gonna
going
be
to
a
have a
good
lot of
event.
fun.
Yeah, that'd be a
It
good
is.
turn. That's that guy Jason was it Jason Voorhees, the one that played. He's gonna be there, right? Or is it Leatherface? Which one is it?
Yes,
Yep.
yes. That's Brett Wagner.
Wagner, yep, that's right. John Wagner, I think.
Brett Wagner will be there.
Yeah, Wagner, yep.
Um,
Yep. That's awesome. Y'all gotta
yeah,
come
there's
see
going to
him
be.
too.
Yeah, so he played
Yep.
Leatherface in the
Yeah, that's right.
Chainsaw Massacre,
Yeah,
and then Tony Moran, he played Michael Myers.
that's right.
He's going to be there.
Oh,
Lee
good. Okay,
Triana
cool.
Terry. Hmm.
Oh, that'd be
And
awesome. Yeah.
then, yeah, Lee Triana Terry Brown. She's from Repossessed, the show Repossessed.
Uh-huh.
Um, Keith H., the rock and roll ghost hunter. He's
Yeah.
just a lot of fun.
Yeah, cool.
Austin Light from Demon
Yeah.
Comics and James Stokes from Stranger Things will be
Um,
there.
yeah, I was supposed to be in a movie that filmed here. Um, here just recently, like back in February and March, and the guy that the production set was made by some of the producers and some of the production people that do the set work from Stranger Things. They built the set down here, and I met all
Oh,
them.
cool.
I forgot his name right now off the top of my head, but they're real nice people. We hung out. He was another guy was one of the main actors with me, but I just had eye surgery. I had a stent put in my eye, so it's like I couldn't do it. Because I had to scream. I was like a sheriff. I had to throw him against the wall and scream and like scream at him and with your eyes, you ever had I never had a migraine in my life. Well, now that I know of, and then that pain with that pressure, and I just couldn't scream loud. I mean, I was screaming, yelling like loud as I could, but I could have done better. But I just had eye surgery that day, and I went straight there to film, and I stayed up all night until 5 o'clock that morning until we started filming, and then I couldn't do it. Crazy.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, it says
Yep.
Jason Stokes. He plays Jason Voorhees.
Oh, good. Say
It was
okay, Jason
Jason.
Stokes. Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah. So
that's
he played.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
hope to see everybody there. That'd be kind of cool. I'll be promoting the event too, so there'll be a good turnout.
Absolutely.
Who's
Oh,
dressing
and
up?
another person
Yep.
that you'll probably be really interested in talking to who's going to be there is Ken Gerhart. And he's the cryptozoologist.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I heard
And
about that too. Yep,
yeah,
that's right. Yep.
and Ken is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
just love Ken Gerhart.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's the one who I did training with cryptozoology as well.
Yeah.
And so informative, and he's a very good teacher. He really
Oh,
is. He's
good.
a really good
Yeah,
teacher.
that's awesome.
But
Yeah.
you'll probably be real interested in talking to him because he, as
Yeah.
well, is really
Hmm.
his cryptozoology does because it was based off of animals. The same thing. He
Yep.
enjoyed being around the animals and everything, and he was over at the San Antonio Zoo for quite a while.
Right.
Worked
Yeah.
over there. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I did some work in
So,
Birmingham
but
Zoo, but they want me to be one of the head curators out there, but this is 20 years ago. But at the time, I was married and kids and small kids, and I couldn't just uproot and leave the stuff I had here. And then plus teaching too,
No,
teaching in the hotels. I had to serve people Slurpees in their backy. Get some bag of plug of backy and their smokes, some Marlboro Reds. I had to do it,
Teresa
man.
says she needs a Bigfoot to come to the con. Yeah,
Oh, so
so do
there's a
we.
story behind that. Yeah. Did you hear about the story behind that here in Dothan, Alabama? That's a whole nother show for you. Look, we could do one on that once I get more information. One of my
Yeah.
old timey friends, like he was a taxidermist around here. But anyway, back in the 70s, I think it was 75, 76, maybe 70. I don't know. In here at Westgate Park, Westgate Park used to be the old Dothan Airport. You know that, right?
No, but I do
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, so it used to be. If have you been to Westgate Park here in Dothan, where the Water World is and all that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. If you ever come here, there's like a long driveway where all the softball, the baseball fields are and stuff. If you look at that long strip, that's the old landing strip and the takeoff strip for the airplanes. And then somewhere back in the trails
Okay.
back there, they had trails that people used to walk, I guess. But they found a footprint here in Dothan, and they called the game wardens the state. The people came out here, and then one of his nephews, he passed. My friend passed away, but his nephew has the casting of it, and it's in a little glass case. And if I can, I've been trying to get in touch with him. I know where he works at. I'm just going to show up and just go up there and say, look, just I don't need to borrow this. I understand, but let me take all the pictures I need or video of it if you want me to. And
Yeah.
it's from that casting from Westgate Park about the Yeti and the
Wow.
Sasquatch. And I was telling Teresa, we're talking about when I went to the hills of Kentucky. Here again goes my I don't believe this shit unless you show it to my face. Unless you show it to me, I don't believe you. I was driving through the hills. There's no cell phone service. My radio wasn't even working. That's how high in the hills I was. It was up above Warshaw, Kentucky, over there, kind of near Cincinnati, but it's up in the mountain area, kind of ish compared to Dothan. We can call it mountains; they call it hills. But we're up there, no service, up in the windy roads and going around, one single roads. It's kind of scary, but I heard the Yeti sound. It was, and I know it had to be an animal. There's no factories, no houses anywhere near there to get to my friend's place. It's just like 20, 30 miles, just plain being in the woods, in the mountain areas, just nothing. And I heard that sound. I swear it had to be then because all the sounds I've heard in the past, it was none like other. I had all my windows rolled down. I was enjoying the cool air. This is about January time, 2022. Yeah, 2022 is when I went. Yep.
Wow. Well, it's interesting that you were saying in the 70s
Yep.
because my experience with Bigfoot was in 74 or 75
Oh.
is when I had my experience. And the interesting thing on that one was that I've only seen him one time, and that was
Hmm.
the time. But the
Yeah.
interesting thing about that was that before I saw him, I smelled this most horrible, horrible smell.
Right. I want
Oh,
to ask you about
it
the
was
smell.
terrible,
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
And then I saw him, and I mean, it wasn't just a blip. I We actually looked right at each other. I mean, he was
Yeah.
right there in front, and the thing had to have been 7 foot tall. I
Yeah.
mean, he was so tall. I mean, it
I believe it.
was amazing.
Yeah.
And
I believe it.
and he was gone. And it was really weird because when he turned and he ran through mangroves, and we know how thick
Thick.
and it's impossible to walk through a mangrove,
Yeah.
much less run through it.
Right.
And he did it with no problem, just
Man.
right through it
Hmm.
and gone.
Yeah.
That was the weirdest thing. It was like, did I just see that?
Yeah.
But it was really cool. That was the only time I've ever seen him. We need to go Bigfoot look hunting.
Yeah. We can go to up in Kentucky.
Yeah,
Those areas up there. Take a team with us and let's go. I believe they're up there. Those
well,
remote areas where away from people, away from things. They discover species all the time. Me being a biologist, they discover brand new species a lot of them are like the minute and the single cell organisms or things like that. But then
yeah,
a lot of them are different species of butterflies, insect frogs. Multi cellular organisms too. So there's stuff out there, and they say that we've only touched 2% of the things that are actually alive out there. We haven't even discovered anything yet. There's only 2%. A lot of it you can't see because it's to the human eye or whatever. But still, there's stuff out there that we haven't explored, like the bottom of the ocean too. Yeah,
The bottom of the ocean is absolutely fascinating.
yeah,
I mean, it
yeah,
never ceases to amaze
yeah.
what's down there. And as soon as they think that they've found
Found one.
something new,
Yeah, yeah,
here comes something else, you
yeah. They
know?
found new species of like a see-through type fish. It was something I've never seen that kind of fish before. They found just about a couple of days ago. I saw it.
Yeah.
But stuff don't excite
Richard
people these days.
Jameson,
Yeah.
yeah. Richard Jameson is asking, it was only 7 foot tall. Richard, we think what it was an adolescent. We don't think it was a full grown adult at this point. And so, from what I saw and what I know now, I didn't know anything back then, but of course, what I know now and recalling the way that it stood, the way that it looked, it was more than likely a male adolescent, very young.
Yeah.
And those
Especially the eye contact. Didn't
a
run away. It
adult
wasn't
can
smart. Yeah.
easily get to be 10 foot. A
Yeah.
male.
Yeah.
Males are bigger than the females, but
Yeah.
with a female, they probably could get what, Jatin, about 8 foot tall? I'd
Yeah.
say
More
about
than
eight
that.
foot tall,
8 to 9 feet tall. Yeah. 8.5, 9 foot.
8
Yeah.
to 9 foot
That
tall,
that
and a
evidence that I've
male can get
seen.
to be about 10. Hmm.
10. Yep.
These stories, yeah, the stories that people hear
Yeah.
about, oh my God, it was 14 foot tall, it was 15, it
Hey.
was, they don't get that big.
Just like a bird.
Physiologically speaking,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, Jatina and I have been around animals enough to where we
Yeah.
can tell you,
Yeah.
physiologically speaking, that would be, you never say impossible,
No. Yeah.
highly improbable
Yeah.
for something to be that large
Because of the blood
and
flow.
to be able
Because of
to
the heart.
sustain itself.
Yeah, exactly. The
Yeah,
organs have to be a lot bigger and has to be able to sustain that gravity, the gravitational pull and flow. And I try to tell them that, they can't be like, they told me,
exactly.
people that tell me this bird stood up like 5 feet tall. I said, there's no way. He looks big to you because it's all fluffed up. Their feathers are when they're roused up. It's called the term is called rouse, and when they do that, they make themselves look bigger. It's like any animal.
Yeah,
They're more scarier, like that. So, you and I've been around animals, so we know.
right.
Yeah,
And another thing about a bird being that tall
hmm
is that we have birds that tall. We
yeah, we
have the
do.
emus and we have
Yep,
the ostriches. They
yep.
cannot fly.
No,
Their bone density is
yep.
so thick
Thick.
to hold those bodies
Yep,
that there's no way that those wings can get that kind of
yep,
propulsion and
yep,
lift to get an
yep,
animal that big off
yep.
the ground. It is highly unlikely.
They
Never
argue
say
about the
never.
pterodactyl. Yeah, same thing. They argue about the pterodactyls didn't exist because of that. I said, look, man, their bones were denser. They had holes in it. They had, so that the airflow, you got the breathing when they breathe the air and everything goes straight through
Yep.
their bones and everything come up. The air sacs. They have. It's a different anatomy. I used to teach anatomy, so that's how I know all the stuff. Yeah, so, but you
But
understand. Yeah,
I do. I
yeah,
do. Um,
yep,
it
yeah,
it is, yeah, a lot of things with cryptozoology. People ask me about the mermaids and
yeah,
the
yeah.
things like
The
the
sirens.
Mothman and things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And you really have to get to a point where you're able to really tell the difference between urban legend
yeah.
versus cryptozoology,
Exactly.
and what is possible, what's really not possible, and what is a very possible example of misidentification.
Yeah,
People are scared when they see it just like that. They're
yeah,
misidentifying it.
yeah.
They're, like
That's
a Bigfoot could easily look like a bear on its two back leg,
on 2 feet.
on its
Yeah,
two back
right.
legs,
Especially one that has like
standing up.
mange. That's right. Exactly right. Yep.
Exactly. You're looking at your Kodiaks, you're looking at your grizzlies,
Yeah.
even
Black
up in
bears.
the northern climates, it could be a polar bear.
Yeah.
But well, yeah, skunk ape, yeah, and if they go to stand up like that, it hood really looked like a bear.
Yeah.
You don't want one of those standing up at you either, though.
I've had them
You don't
before. I've
want.
had it. My friends' bears, I've knew them for cubs, and then one time both of them ganged up on me, the black bears, and and they just stood straight up, and then you can't do eye contact. You got to sit very, very, very still. And when he got down, I kind of eased my way out of that cage. I was like, bye. Ain't seen them since.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
I
They're
had a
extremely
little
smart.
bear that I raised for a while,
Yeah.
and he was just really cute. And I came to discover that one of the best ways that I could keep him in line is to sit on him
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, basically,
because
yeah.
the mama bears do that.
Yeah,
The
they do.
mama bears actually sit on their babies
They're
to
aggressive.
get
Yeah,
them
that's
in
right.
line.
Get them in line, right?
It is.
Slap into it.
So,
They'll
so I
smack them
just
right
sit
there.
on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was fun. Speaking of
Yeah.
grizzly bears, Jatin, is there a local place to see some?
Yeah. Here in Hartford, Alabama, my friend he owns a grizzly bear ranch and rescue out there, and so he's been there for
Oh,
about a little over a year now, I believe. But and it's open to the public. He's got a call up there, and like you can schedule a tour or whatever. And go. There's a big event every Sunday. It's coming up at the end of July. I think it's last weekend in July. I can't remember the dates, but it's on his website, and it's all over my pages too. And it's $25 per carload. So I said, just think like an Indian or a Mexican, just pile that shit up and get out there. Because you put 10 people in there, that's $2.50 a pop, buddy. So you're getting to see a damn bear that's like right in front of your face. Just tie them up to the top, put them on. Hey, he said a carload. So stick them on the roof with the rope, stick them in the trunk. Whatever, just attaches themselves to that vehicle, kind of like an Indian
oh
people
my
on
God.
train. You ever seen the videos and it's true too. Like when I rode on a train, they're just all clinging on. They're like, damn, it's like an ant. You throw a bunch of ants on a leaf on a body of water. Same shit. Just pile them up. Cheap. $25. Go to see whatever you want. He's got it out there.
Oh my God, that's too funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Go do
You
it.
know what? Maybe we should do a live from there.
We
Go
can.
in
We can
there
do
and do
it.
a live.
Yeah, I'll ask him. We can do it. I'm sure he don't mind. Especially, we'll do it. That'd be cool.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
We
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I used to work. This is back years ago.
Uh-huh.
Years ago. I'm telling my age here, but
Yeah.
this was back in the early '80s.
Uh-huh.
And was it the '80s? Yeah, it was the early '80s. And I worked with um, Peter Tours, who was Ivan. I don't know if you remember Ivan Tours.
Yes, I've heard
He
of it.
was
Yes, I
the
have. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he was the producer of Flipper and Daktari and
Oh, that's
things
right.
like
Yep.
that.
That's right.
And
Yep.
his son Peter used to work the General Ben
Jump in. Yep.
exhibits,
Yep. I
and
love that
um,
show.
and I worked it with him.
Oh man, that's
And then
awesome. God.
yeah, so we worked the General Ben bear. That bear was so laid back.
Yeah,
He
he was
didn't care.
probably one of the best bears ever. Yeah, I've heard stories
Yeah,
of.
big
Yeah,
old grizzly. He was
yeah,
so cool.
yeah.
And
General,
everybody used to think, oh, his big vicious bear. He had
no
so much to eat. The only thing he wanted to do was sleep. It was
sleep.
like,
Yep,
nah,
yep,
I don't care what you do. He didn't care.
yep, yeah. That's right. Uh-uh.
But I really enjoyed that.
That's right.
And then Ivan or
Hmm.
Peter and I went out to Las Vegas and picked up. We see the coyote and the wolf from, remember the movie The Wilderness Family?
Yes. Oh yeah.
That's
Yes, I do.
years
Yep.
ago.
I love that movie. Yep.
We picked up the tiger and or the coyote and the wolf from The Wilderness Family, and then
Oh.
we picked up a lion that would do the MGM shoots. His name was
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dandy.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Okay,
awesome.
and we
Yeah.
picked up Dandelion, and we were
Yep.
bringing them back to the Sarasota compound that was Ringling Brothers, the
Yeah.
circus grounds.
Yeah.
We were taking them back to there for just to keep them there, but
Yeah.
they were
That's
being
right.
relocated. So
Oh,
that was a
cool.
trip that I took. Yeah, my job was to keep. Oh, there's stories I can tell you on that one. That was great.
Man, that's
But
awesome. We could do another
yeah, my
live on
job
that.
was to make sure that they got from point A to point B
Yep.
safely.
And happy and safe.
And it
Yep.
was fun. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Um, yeah, it was. It
Yeah.
was cool.
Yeah.
So, so are you going to be doing some with your snake stuff? Are
Hmm.
you know Florida is piled full of
Oh,
these
yeah.
things.
Yeah. They want me to go down there now, but it's too hot, especially down there right now. So I just wait till it's probably gonna be, you know. No, I'll probably see if I can catch some. There's too many of them. I mean, there's not enough us quote hunters out there, but it's no challenge to me. I mean, if you really know what you're
Now,
talking about doing, once you grab them. Hmm.
to me, I would think,
Yeah.
what's the most dangerous snake that you've encountered?
The king cobra in India. That's why I was trying to get my mom to tell you that the snake that she caught. So what she was trying to tell y'all is that when she had that fire, like they used to cook on a fire every day. They didn't have electricity when they grew up, even in the 90s. We had to cook on a fire that was right there in the back door of the front, of the back of the house.
Wow.
And then when she would go get the wood from there, it was curled up on there, and then she'll telling y'all that it ate something like a rat or a mouse or something. It ate, or probably a rat, because it was a king cobra, and it was about 11 feet tall, that 11 foot long. That she was telling me. Then when they yell over there, the villagers all came and ran and got the sticks, and they don't like killing things, but it was a cobra, and it was dangerous. It was in their house, in the back part, so they had to go there and then they hit them with the sticks. That's what the villagers used to do. And then just they take it out, but it was a king cobra. I've dealt with a king cobra. It was about this one was about 11 or 12 foot. It was in someone's house. This is 2011, and they screamed and yelled for me. So I'm a giant. I mean, everybody's a giant here compared to people in India, because they're like little tiny little oompa loompas, and then they need to go make chocolate. But no, they go mess around with the mango trees and the sugarcane bushes out there, in India. But they're so tiny because they
Which
don't
is
eat meat.
exactly where they're hiding out at.
Yeah, so the cobra was inside this person's house, and they yelled, and so they came and got me. So one of them got in a little. Everybody travels like by either walking mostly, but then they have bicycles, and they also have the real tiny motorcycles. Like they're like lawnmower engines, little tiny little motorcycles, whatever. And they got one, took me to the house, and I quote distracted it and whatever I needed to do, and I grabbed it by its tail, and then I eased it out of the house, and they stuck me on the back of that bike, and I just kind of went real slow down the dirt roads with all those holes
Holding
into the
that
sugar,
snake?
holding that snake because it was so long. I just let it. It was twisted and turning and all that stuff. I was on the back of that bike, kind of, but we were going so slow. It was kind of like speed walking for me, but we went about a mile down the road and kind of released it back in the fields away from everybody. The jungle area, not the sugar cane. We have rice paddies out there
Yeah.
too. Right there. So we released it. Oh shoot!
Wow.
Oh. Yeah. So yeah, we released it out there. So that's the most dangerous one I've ever dealt with, because but you got to understand the behavior. Like this rattlesnake here, I don't like killing things. But this one right here was in this lady's backyard. It was about 6 foot, and I had to get it out of there because Meemaw was out there with the broom and the kids and the dogs, and I was like, y'all need to stand back. It was like my neighbor's right down the road's house, and too much attention. I didn't have anything with me, so I had to stick, and I just had to kind of pop it. And I don't like wasting any life, so I used every part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So that was a
I think
diamondback
the
rattlesnake.
snake that scared the king cobra scared me because there
Yeah.
was an incident that happened once with the king cobra, and
Uh-huh.
I came so close to getting bit, but
Yeah.
I was told, "Oh no, you were fine." No, to me, I was that
Yeah.
close. But
Mm-hmm.
the one snake that I really terrified me being at the serpentarium
Yeah.
was the crate.
Oh yeah.
The
Yep.
crate terrified me
Yeah.
because the crates are so much more toxic
They are.
than the cobras
Yes, they
are.
are. Yeah.
And Mr. Host actually got bit by a crate, I think
Yeah.
twice,
God,
and
man.
he lived. But
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
hand, it was his right hand, was
Yeah.
real. I think it was his right hand. Anyway, one of them was very deformed, and it wasn't even from the cobra,
Yeah.
or a crate. It was from
Wait.
a diamondback
Go down back.
that tw- that twisted his hand up.
Yeah.
But I think at the
Yeah.
time he was the only person that had survived a crate bite.
Yeah. That's amazing. Those things are extremely venomous. They'll take an elephant down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They can.
I tell you, no
Hit the
go,
one.
Joe.
No.
Those things terrified me.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrified. Where can folks see you and hear your stories?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I mean, my YouTube channel, I got there's a lot of my stuff, and I post videos of me picking up a rattlesnake, and then you just type in my name, Jatin, like Jatin, and last name Patel, Patel, Dothan, Alabama, and YouTube. You'll see all that, and plus if you just look up the same name on Facebook, and then I'll have all my TikTok and my Instagram, but mainly I just stick stuff on Facebook, just quick videos of me just giving updates or whatever. So. And I need to make some more videos in my stories. I got some stories to tell, just like I'm sure, and I know you do. I'm sure I know you do, but I like to hear more about Big Ben and Big Ben. I'm from England. I had to throw in Big Ben, Big Gentle Ben. How about that? 'Cause he was big.
It was big,
Yeah.
but he was very, very sweet. Very
Yeah, I'm ready.
sweet.
I'm ready to entertain y'all,
Um,
man. So I hope y'all get to come see both of us, and then all these other entertainers at the Comic Con and also the Renaissance Fair. That's the first. That's the first annual fair, right? At the Renaissance Fair. That's the first one.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
it's the
that'd be
first
amazing.
one in
Yeah,
this particular area.
that's
Mariana
awesome.
is it's like an agricultural community, but it's
Right.
really building up.
Yeah, it is.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so we thought, well, time to bring this to Mariana, and
That's right.
we thought about it, and here we're doing it, and
That's awesome.
it's had such a good response,
Right.
and I'm so excited. I'm so thrilled, and it's just going to be so much fun in November to see it all
Yep.
come together and everybody having a good time, because I know everybody's going to have a great time at it,
Yeah. We're gonna
and
have fun.
I'm just really excited,
Yeah.
and
Get to
I'm
learn a
excited
lot
about
too.
you being there.
Oh yeah, you too. I like to meet y'all, and yeah, I like to come. I'll be a visitor to your boat too. I got to come see hear your stories too. If I can get away from mine, usually I
Absolutely,
can't. Usually I keep me entertained so well.
you're probably going to have a lot of people there.
Yeah, I have.
I
Usually ends
float
up that
around a
way.
lot.
Yeah, I'll be
I'm
probably stuck in
everywhere.
one area, but yeah, y'all have to bring me snacks and treats and stuff like that because I won't be able to move. So y'all come. I need.
We'll feed you.
That'll work. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Oh my gosh, I've had
Yeah,
so much fun with you. I really
yeah, you too.
have.
Yeah, it was a lot of
Um,
fun.
we'll get together,
Yeah,
and
sure,
we'll have
sure
Stan
thing.
and Teresa set something up, and
Yeah,
let's
no
start
problem.
doing some reels together.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
We'll have,
I'm free. I'll make
yeah,
time. Don't worry.
we'll have fun. Are you kidding?
Yeah, we'll have to do it. Yep.
Jadine,
And
it was so much fun having you.
you
And you
too.
guys
Yep.
out there, we're going to be having, yeah, we're going to have Jatin on here a lot. So,
Yep.
you never know what he's going to be bringing. You just don't
Yep.
know.
Yeah, you never know.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I'll figure something out.
And reminding everybody, the Deep South Paracomic-Con is on August the 9th and 10th. Remember the date, Jatine, 9th and
Yep.
10th
Oh yeah, I will.
at the Ozark Civic Center. Yeah,
Hmm.
in
Yep.
Ozark, Alabama.
Yep.
Okay, and then we're going to be doing the Medieval Faith Fest,
Yep.
and that's going to be in Marianna, Florida,
Hmm.
and that's going to be on November the 8th and 9th at the Jackson County Agricultural Center.
Got it.
Well, they call it the Ag Center. Yeah.
Yep. That's right.
And they're both going to be a blast. And we've got great guests that are going to be at both of them. And the most recent one coming up is the Paracomic-Con. So we're kind of centering in on that one right now because that's next month. Can you
That's
believe it,
right.
Jatine?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
Not a
in
lot
July.
far away. Yep. About a
Oh,
month away. Month and a
about a
week.
month
What?
away.
6 weeks. 5 weeks away. Yep.
Yeah, not a lot.
So, yeah.
So there's going to be Richard and Colleen Johnson. There's
Uh-huh.
going to be Matt Brown, Lee Triana's husband, Matt Brown, who's a
Oh wow.
researcher in his own right, is just amazing. Blaine Rohan, he'll be back again this year. Me, Debbie Hawk-Hutchinson Crib, me.
Yep.
Russell Conaway, wrestlers Buck Bresner and the American Giant Wrestler, and the
Mhm.
Alabama Ghostbusters Dothan Division.
Yep.
And that's not even, we have even more than that coming.
Yeah.
We're loaded.
Yep. That's right.
And one other thing, you guys, vendors and cosplay, get your applications in, because if you want to be a vendor there, and believe me, you want to be a vendor there,
Yeah, you do.
get those applications in because we're running out of space.
Yep.
So get those applications in so you can make sure that you get in there.
Yep.
And you guys that want to do cosplay, give them a call at the numbers on the Deep South Para Comic Con site. Give them a call in there and let them know, hey, I want to do this. That's all you got to do. And just
Yep.
let them know that you're going to be there. Michael and Destiny Fox will also be there. I love Michael and Destiny. They are so cool. So we've just got so much going on. And remember, it's the Deep South Para Comic Con.com.
Yep.
It's all one word, Deep South Para Comic Con.com.
Yep.
Jatin, I will be talking to you very, very soon.
Sure down. Yep. Sounds good.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
And everybody, thank you for tuning in. And we'll be seeing everybody next Tuesday. And you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. Okay, thanks.
Y'all
Bye-bye.
take care now. Bye.